Hey y'all. Hey village folks. It's your girl, Nerisse, and I'm back. I said I was gonna be back today and I'm back. Now I said like around 9, so the around gives me the extra leeway. But I know it's almost 10. Um but I'm back. I'm back. I was supposed to have Wave Wednesday. I ended up not doing it just because I was doing some summer cleaning to say the least. Breaking generational curses, quite literally. Um, yeah, but man, it's a good day. It's a good day for me at least, because well, before I get into all that, for those who are new, hi, my name is Nerisse. I'm a singer, songwriter, beat maker, visual artist, creative, businesswoman, entrepreneur, independent artist, all around. Um, for those who are familiar, who've been a part of this live stream, welcome back. Welcome back to the village. And again, for those who are new, I call my audience, my live streams, my community, the village, just because, they say it takes a village to raise a human. And some of us might have been born into villages that didn't really feel like home to us, where we didn't really feel seen or heard or like we fit in. I'm just gonna take my glasses off just the glare. Ooh, bless my existence. Um, yeah, some of us might have been born into some shitty villages. No shade. Some people did the best that they could, and some people didn't. But while we're here on the planet, I know we all go through our things, and sometimes the journey can be can be hard. It could be lonely sometimes, and you feel like an outcast, and you might not feel like people really get you, or you're different and you're unique. You like a lot of different things. You might not be black enough, might not be this enough or that enough, or whatever the case may be. And I just say fuck fitting into other people's spaces and just create my own. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what the village is about. And that's what I intend to continue building here. And I'm grateful for the community that it's becoming so far. I know I have some folks that are like reoccurring in the live streams, and I'm grateful for those people. um and not only that, but yeah, and I know the views and stuff have come up. That's because I've been more consistent. But and I know people are interacting in the community space with the posts and stuff like that. So I'm grateful to see the evolution and growth of this village, even in its beginning stages. So I don't take that for granted. I'm very grateful. Okay, so that's my whole thing. um okay, I'll do the quick promo stuff, and then I'll do a quick update on what's going on with me, and then we'll get into uh the music. So first of all, oh, is it gonna show? Oh boy, I think I have to exit and then come back. All right, hold on. Oop, that's not okay. Actually, that is where I meant to. Oh, no, it's a lot. Okay, let's see something. Okay, this still looks like it's not going to. Sure. Okay, well that page isn't working. Um, I don't think that's working either. Oh, this is so annoying. Hi, welcome in. I'm just trying to get these pages together. I know I didn't restart this what do you call it? This browser. Okay, well, whatever. I'll just show it on my music page or my website rather. But but I do make music, which is what I do on here. Um and I put out Sweet Life. Oh shit. I did put out Sweet Life, didn't I? Okay, that reminds me. Okay. Okay. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay, anyway. So for those who don't know, this is my website. Um which I did pay to bring this John back up. So, um, you know, if this pops up, sign up for the email list. Um we got the Divine EP that's on all streaming platforms. I say listen to it before you purchase. We got Sweet Life by Frank Ocean cover. It's on SoundCloud. Live streams. We got Music Monday, Wave Wednesday, Fire Friday. Every now and then we might have a Tone Tuesday or so. And then we got flash drives, limited edition color flash drives with the Divine EP on it. It's got a lyric book, affirmations, pictures, visuals. It's a lot on there. It's good quality art, collectible, classic stuff on there. So yeah, that's the website. I know it's not like showing it in the best angle here. I don't know why it looks like that. But whatever, it's fine. Um, so yeah, okay, that's the normal promo thing, and then I'll just show you guys the CDs. So we got the purple Divine CDs. I know it's a little creatively ghetto, but great nonetheless. And then again we got our limited edition flash drives, and then also we got merch too. I know I keep forgetting to mention that sometimes, but no, I've been mentioning it more lately. And I will be designing new merch eventually. But we got Divine hats, which are really cute. I mean, mine has my name on the back. It says Narice, but the ones that are for sale just have Divine on it, and I also have hoodies with this design as well. I might as well just show it to you. It's right here. I'm just trying. Got a lot on my table there, but this is what the hoodie looks like, and this thing is super comfy. I mean, there is the hood, but it's comfy. It's cute. If for the girlies that like to be cute, if you get it oversized, you can make a dress out of it. Um, you know, that's all the stuff. Okay. I'm an artist. I gotta promote myself spiel. Okay, so I didn't do the live stream on Wednesday because I was spring cleaning, doing a bit of spring cleaning. And uh yeah, I was cleaning out the den in my house, which has like a bunch of books and box and papers and all this stuff. And it had always been a goal of mine to like declutter and clear all that stuff out while my dad was here, just because I know he would spend time there sometimes. Um and I was just like, even in the basement too, like all the places in the house that was always like decluttered, it was always a goal of mine to like, I mean, that was cluttered. It was always a goal to declutter it. Like my laundry room way back when was like so bad. It was like a bunch of boxes and stuff. And so I guess like, I guess I got me and my fam to like clear that out. I know our dining room table used to be crazy. We used to have like piled messes there, and then I kind of put like a placemat there. Just trying to make it a livable home environment space. I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be, but like all the spaces that my dad would be in, like the basement, the computer room, and his room is just like a mess. And you know, it's just a lot going on with that. And I remember him always saying like, you know, it's a quote from Chris Rock that he said in I think a comedy special. If you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book, which is kind of crazy to say. But in that, just you know, discovered some interesting books and collections and stuff that have been there for a very long time. And it reminds me. So I have a Patreon account. I have two Patreon accounts. I have one for my art and then one for like personal stuff where I mean I know I do a lot of like venting a little, well, not venting, I won't say venting, but I'll share a lot about like personal stories and stuff and experiences in my life, but I go into detail about like spiritual stuff and just like symbolism and numerology and all that. And I just kind of speak more freely in those videos, and I put that in my Patreon. But I will share something that I discovered today that I think was very interesting, and I feel like um, negates a lot of the. Okay, actually, it's not showing up here. I'll trust that sign then. I'll show it later. But whatever. It's just very interesting. For certain circumstances in my life that yeah, it's just hard to explain without really going into depth of breaking down the full lore of my life. If my life were anything like the Truman Show. And, there's spells and magic and books and numerology and, all those things. But anyway, you know, but I say all that to say I made a discovery of, certain references to books that explains a lot of things that has gone on in my childhood, and certain things that I felt like I was like blamed for, but realizing like with receipts that they were actually motivated or influenced in a way, and just seeing like the references of it, and I'm like, this explains why these certain events has happened in my childhood. um yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I mean, I had already known that, I had already felt that in my spirit, and I had already been saying that, and I might not have had like the concrete proof. And even on the surface, if you're looking with just like your two human eyes, it might not seem like anything, but if you're looking with your spiritual eye and you're able to read between the lines and understand what things can symbolize, and double entendres and triple entendres and stuff like that, it's clear as day. And it's shit that I've been saying, like, about certain things in my life. And it's like, okay, if certain people could brag about how powerful they are at gaslighting and manipulation, who's to say people haven't been doing that in the very beginning of, certain things to create a narrative to make themselves justify their manipulation. I know it sounds crazy without the context, but I mean, if you know, you know. Either way, I don't want to get too much into that. But I know I just wanted to say that and just say like, I don't know, it's just a moment of relief for me, just because I'm like, okay, I'll end this on this note. It can be very frustrating and tiresome when you know the truth of who you are and people see you with a certain perspective that's not true to your spirit. Even if out of context you understand why people might assume that, but even like knowing who you are, knowing your spirit, and knowing your personality, common sense would make you think like, that's not how that person is, they're not like that. And it's frustrating when you go through experiences where people like judge you, they bully you, they give you a hard time, they turn their back on you, people that you love, look at you different. And when you try to confront them about it, they deny it and gaslight you about it. It's like, oh no, it's cool. I love you. I never had a problem with you, but they can't admit the fact that they view you a certain way. And then they have to um expose how they know to view you a certain way, especially if things aren't clear and direct. And it's frustrating, and not many people are strong enough to push through that and believe in who they are and know the truth of themselves. And even if you're in situations where people in positions of power, people that you look up to, people that you love and respect, turn their head towards you and look at you a certain way. And when you're reaching out for help or you're trying to prove to people that you're changing for the better, it's not enough. That's hard. That's hard for anybody to go through. And, and that's why I wrote the song that I wrote before. Like, I'm not sure what the title of it is. Well, right now it's called Water Bearer. But it's tough, when you're dealing with stuff alone and people are giving you a hard time and bullying you and you have nobody to go to. And a lot of people will give up, especially if people make you the butt of the joke. People just think your torture and your misery is entertainment. And it's real life for you. Like, this your real fucking life. Even if you're going through shit where people like try to fake shit around you, that's still your real life, and it's real emotions and real things that affect you. And especially if you go through spaces and people actually give you a hard time and they invade your privacy and just treat you disrespectfully and attack you, like, that shit is real pain. That's real pain and real trauma and real PTSD and stuff that actually affects your nervous system and how you move throughout the world. And gratefully, I've evolved into somebody that was strong enough to deal with it. But I know there's certain PTSD that I got to deal with, looking at certain experiences, like in workspaces where people gave me a hard time. And I know there's people who are into the spiritual stuff. And, sometimes you could have coworkers putting spells on you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a real thing. And and when you're trying to defend yourself and you're not as knowledgeable or as experienced or as tapped in, so you might not know, like, okay, even like, especially for people who are spiritually unaware, people could be doing works on you and you don't even know it, and your life is just crumbling and you're just trying to figure out why the fuck is all of this happening, and you're looking at it on a physical level, but it's stuff going on a spiritual level. And once you make that awareness to be like, okay, wait, this spiritual stuff is real, that's the first step, is like even knowing that a spiritual war is happening. And then once you have that awareness, then you gotta like catch up on the fact, like, oh wait, motherfuckers is attacking me. I don't even know what kind of spiritual armor to have, let alone what sword to get to fight back. And I mean, for me, just if anybody's dealing with that, I think, you know, prayer is extremely powerful. The power of the tongue is real. Don't discredit that, whatever your denomination is. And, just pay attention to your gut. And even if you make mistakes along the way, those mistakes teach you lessons. And, sometimes you want to seek guidance from other people, but sometimes you just got to struggle through it on your own. And then you pick up on the different nuances of how to read energy and see the signs and stuff like that. And it could be challenging because if people are doing works on you, they're sometimes what you think is a sign is really somebody like fucking with you, and sometimes that could be a challenge and to decipher. And, and I mean, I say all this to say, like, I'm a spiritual person, so like, I mean, while in this village, I do speak to that because it's a real thing. And I think that's something to be mindful of and prepare yourself for in the world, because it's very real. People in corporate spaces, people in government, they know that shit. They know about the spiritual aspects of things. They know about astral projection. They know about spell work and magic and all that stuff. And, what you see in the physical, that's just a fraction of what's really going on beyond that. Like, I'll just say this, with everything that's going on with Trump, Aside from, I don't want to get too political on this, but I'm just going to say, aside from the fact that he got homies working for him, but the fact that this man could get arrested, go to court, go to trial, be found guilty on all them charges, right? But then all of a sudden they changed the law, and then he has immunity as a former elected president. This man had an assassination attempt. Somebody behind him lost their life. Somebody lost their father, and somebody else got injured. This man got grazed by the ear. Now, granted, that's a crazy circumstance to be in, but I'm just saying, I feel like on the outside looking in, knowing what I know about the spiritual stuff, like he got heavy protections with him. He really do. And it's stuff that, and that's a whole nother conversation for another time. But I think back to when I was kind of like starting out in my spiritual journey was when he first got elected. And I went through like hell through that process. But seeing people post like, all witches, we need to get band together and put a curse on Donald Trump. And it's like, y'all can do that, but y'all have to understand he probably got witches on the cuff, like doing works to ensure his protection and reverse that stuff. Like these people in positions of power in politics, they know all that. Like another example, a historical example, something that I said on a post, and I talked about this in another live stream, and I'll say it again. And again, it's nothing against Freemasons. I think, that organization is not as like evil as people try to crack it up to be, but I think like anything, there's good and bad with anything, and there might be people in that organization doing good, and there's probably people in that organization doing negative works. Just like any space, like any job, you got your manager that you fuck with that look out for you, and then you got that manager that's an asshole. I feel like that goes with any space. So when people are like, oh, they're into that devil worship, there might be people who do that in that organization, but I don't think that encompasses the whole organization. So I'll just say that first. But if you do research into some of the first Freemasons in this country, George Washington, and I believe Benjamin Franklin were Freemasons too. And just how, if you look at an aerial view of Washington, D.C., and especially where the monument is, all the way to where the White House is, the grid and just how the construction was done, like the roads and where the buildings are, were constructed very intentionally with sacred geometry in mind, with spiritual tactics and like, angles and, knowing what's good for a certain energy if you're facing north versus facing east. Now, I don't know the specifics, but I've seen a documentary explaining that, where that all was intentional when creating and building the White House and building the monuments and the museums and, all the ancient, well, not ancient, but the historical architecture in Washington, D.C. So I say that to say, and when it comes to Freemasons, I don't think it's just like spiritual. I know they say they're builders and architects and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure they're aware of symbolism, spirituality, and energy work. And I say that to say they know that shit too. So you should know that as well. Even in your sphere of life, even in your everyday, working a day job or running your own business, or maybe you might be unemployed, whatever your situation is, or if you do freelance work, like you're not small. You're not just a one person just moving throughout this life. You're significant. You're major. You matter. Your energy is important, and you're more powerful than you think you are. And don't let anybody try to make you feel small just because you might be one person, or you might not be of a certain status, or you might not have a certain amount of money, or you might not be as knowledgeable. You're magnificent, you're powerful, and your spirit has significance here. Like you made it through whatever your birthing situation was, whether you were preemie or not, you know, you came into this world through a womb, you survived, you've evolved up into whatever age that you are today. And I see that there's a handful of people watching now. You just being in existence, being able to watch this and be able to comprehend what I'm telling you is a miracle in itself. So, whatever you're going through in your day to day life, whatever struggles and challenges you might go through, and you feel like, if people try to make you feel insignificant, there is power to who you are. There's power to where you are in your life right now. And you're more powerful than you probably think you are. And that's a key component to your spiritual awareness, is knowing that you're significant, knowing that regardless of your status in this physical world, you probably have your art. I know my system just kind of froze a little bit right here. The message was too heavy for the physical devices. But essentially what I'm saying is, you might feel insignificant in this physical world because you ain't got a certain amount of money, or you might not have be at a certain status, or you want to get to a certain place in your career, or you want to have a family, or whatever that is. But the first step is recognizing your spiritual significance and knowing that there's value to who you are as a being and as an energy. Because there's people who try to harvest that energy. There's people who try to disempower you. There's people who try to keep you in a state of ignorance so you don't know your power. People wouldn't try so hard to manipulate the laws, to manipulate your position at work, to manipulate you in all these ways and keep you ignorant if there wasn't a power to who you are. So, whatever it is you're dealing with in life, keep pushing through. Always educate yourself and know that you have worth and you have power. And if you're dealing with a lot, yeah, that shit is it's shitty to have to deal with it, but know that when they say God gives his strongest challenges to his or God gives his biggest challenges to his strongest warriors or soldiers, I mean, people be joking online like, okay, but I don't think I'm the strongest soldier like you think I am, God. But that's real tea though. Like that's real shit, because there's always a way for you to pull through, and it's really all in your mindset. And every adversity and setback is a lesson, it's a challenge, it's a room for you to improve and evolve and move forward in your life. So yeah, if you're dealing with a lot of pressure and people coming at you, people making fun of you, and if you feel like alone in your journey, know that there's probably power and significance to you. And God knows that. God sees that in you. And it's really just a matter of you seeing it within yourself. Because chances are, if you got enemies, if you got haters, they see that shit too. They see your light, they see your power. And really, that, like, if you ever been through an experience, if you're being bullied or you're being fucked with or whatever the case may be, or somebody giving you a hard time, that's because those people see your light and they're intimidated. And they have to give you a hard time because they can't cope with the fact that, oh, this person got this light, this person's so likable, this person don't bother nobody, this person don't be in no drama, so let me start something with them. But the real tea is that they have that significance within themselves and they don't know it. And so they're intimidated when they see it in you. Because sometimes y'all don't even know that you have it within yourselves. Y'all just be moving through life, just moving. But you're a light. And other people pick up on that, especially your haters, especially that asshole that gives you a hard time. They see your light too. But know that they see your light because they're not able to see it within themselves either. And instead of just feeling like insecure with themselves and keeping it to themselves, they project it by trying to dim your light. Don't let them do that. But wake up to your light and wake up to your power. With that said, it's like a synopsis of all the songs I've been working on. But there is a beat that I started, or with a sample, It's a, I know that was real deep and real, sentimental, but that's me. That's how I am. Y'all know I love to be like, I'm on the spiritual stuff. For those who are new, welcome. For those who, are just, joining it, or who are returning. Y'all know how these TED Talks get, but it's important for me to say that, because if somebody else ain't gonna say it in your life, I'll be the one. But um, you know, I do have a song that's a little bit more lighthearted. I want it to be fun. I haven't worked on like an upbeat record in a while. I know I had been doing like some of my hip hop tracks. I'm gonna get back to those records. Like, I'm not copping out of those songs. Like, I just, because I don't usually rap, I can rap, but I don't do it as often. So it's not a sword that I'm constantly sharpening. Like, I'll often write bars, but rapping is a whole thing where it's like, it's the bars, it's how you deliver the bars. Are you going to do it with a little melody? Are you going to do it real hard? Are you going to be playful with it? Like, there's so many ways that you can do it. And I know I'm not going to give myself a hard time. I know some people might be watching like, oh, is it going to be good? Oh my god, that's so whack. And they can feel that way. I know that the finished product is going to be immaculate because that's my standard. It might start out whack, as I'm trying to like, iron out the kinks and figure out how I want it to go. But I'm giving myself grace. I'm not giving myself a hard time if it don't come out crazy, because my strong suit is vocals and singing. And I'm just now getting back into like messing around with rapping. So I know sometimes it could be like a little pressure, but again, I know my significance. I know my power. Nobody can knock me off that. And you know, so I don't mind if people like trying to clown me, trying to hate on me, or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. But I know I'm dope, and I don't need the validation of other people. And even if, with these live streams, you guys are watching me work on the music. You guys are watching me record live. I'll fuck up mad times. Or sometimes it won't even be that bad, but because I hear it a particular way, I'll redo it until it's right. And sometimes it come out sounding crazy. Sometimes I might, a note might crack. But I'm being vulnerable in a way where I'm showing you guys the raw and honest behind the scenes process of making music that most artists don't do. Like, when y'all see the behind the scenes, notice it's only but so long. You know what I mean? They're not showing you when they're in the studio fucking up the words and stuff like that. They might show you that a little bit just to be like, oh my god, they're so relatable. But to really see a full recording session and see somebody work out a song in real time is very vulnerable, especially as an artist, especially as a creative. But gratefully, through all the spiritual wars and everything that I've dealt with, I'm comfortable with that. I don't mind being vulnerable. And yeah, I just want to inspire. But right now, I want us to have a good time. So um let me see if I can find this sample. Here we go. All right, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I knew I heard this song. I forget where I heard this sample. Um, it might have been like in a movie or something like that. Oh, damn it. Okay. All right. So, all right, I gotta like close this and reopen this, but it's okay. I don't know where I heard the sample from, but I remember hearing it and I was like, "Oh, I like this. This would be dope." Or the song, original song. I'm pretty sure it was in a movie or something like that. And then back when I was in Down to Mars years ago, I had this in like the drive, and I like had an idea to like make a beat with it. This was before I knew anything about production, and I was gonna try to get my bandmate to make something out of it, but she didn't at the time, and that's fine. Well, that's why we're here today, and I can do it myself. So yeah, let's see what we can cook up with this. And I think I want this to be like upbeat. I want it to be fun. Um, yeah, I want it to be a vibe because I haven't made a beat like that in a while. And I know I have been doing a lot of like vocal recordings lately. So yeah, but anyway, I have to open up a new window. Okay, well, why isn't this showing up? This sounds like I'm in space. Oh, wait, hold on. Another plane into a means. Okay. 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 I think I'm figuring this out. But even still, when I tried to show, all right, maybe I need to exit this and then bring it back. I don't know. Well, all right. All right. You know, I really, I'm not one to like pay attention a whole lot to what the young whippersnappers is doing, but I do like that Central C kid. Even though I know he like in some drama right now. I don't. I mean, I pay a little bit attention to the tea and the drama. I'm not gonna lie, it's my guilty pleasure. But the music, I like his voice. Like I like his accent and like his rapping. I think he has an interesting style as a rapper, and I really like that song he got with the baby. Oh my goodness, I don't know why this isn't showing up, and I really don't want to have to. I don't want to have to like close out everything and then reopen it. Okay, I might have to do that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna like Houdini disappear for like a second and I'm gonna be right back. Okay. So hang in there. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'm back, y'all. Hey, thanks for staying, guys. Okay, now let's see if I can share the screen now. Because sometimes if I had the browser on for too long and then I get on live stream, when I try to share another screen, it like doesn't show up for whatever reason. And I tried to open another Windows and like do it so I didn't have to close out the website, but whatever. Okay, I see it's working now. So word. Okay, bet. All right, y'all. We about to get into these beats. We about to bop these bitches with beats. All right, y'all. Um, let me swap screens real quick. And all right. And then I gotta figure out which part of the song. I'm pretty sure just like the intro. We're gonna sample the intro. So let's see. Mm, mm. Money. Oh, actually, I hope that didn't mess up the what's the name that I got going on here. Okay, This is actually what I'm about to do, y'all, because I was kind of cooking earlier in this live stream. So hope that wasn't too bad, because I did just play that a little bit. All right, this one I'm about to do. I'm about to close this live stream, but I'm about to restart it. Okay, just so my TED talk. When we get monetized, because when I catch up to the future me that's already monetized, this video would be fine. And then next video, I don't mind if it's a copyright, because I am working with a sample, and it should be fine. So I'm about to close this, but then I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna come right back again, but this time officially I'm gonna be back. Okay. All right. So everybody that's watching, just jump back on when I go back on live. Okay. All right.